Mountain Fire Media presents Vice vs. Vampyres, an original feature radio play by Brad Havens. Let's just check it out.
Yeah.
Sweet. I knew if Carson backed me, that was it. We were going after Grace. The guys were clearly still skeptical.
I'll only agree to this if you agree you just maybe forfeited your share. I'm not dying for some stupid stripper. They get you, this safe house is no longer safe. If you get caught and we gotta run, your money is forfeit, buddy. You got that?
Fine, I'm in.
Me too. I'd rather not be on the run for the rest of my life.
I think you're both frickin' nuts, but I'll back you.
And that was it. We just became the four blind mice walking willingly into the lion's den, thinking we were the ones with the upper hand. They took Grace to what they called the harem room, which was where they kept the girls they kidnapped. It was a nice room, luxurious furniture, and they had food and a TV, but no windows, no clothes other than their underwear, and only one door that was always locked. When they brought Grace back, every other girl knew it was trouble for them. Now it was just a matter of time. They huddled together as Grace told them what happened.
I never really liked JJ, but I think I'm gonna be sick.
I can't believe those pigs brought you back. Whatever happened to serve and protect?
We're gonna die, aren't we?
No matter what happens, we stick together, okay?
You gotta admire Jade for putting on a brave face despite these cavemen thugging their way around. If she were their size, she would have been a real handful. Anyway, these goons came in acting like animal handlers, inspecting the girls for some unknown purpose.
Stand up.
Oh my god.
What are you gonna do to us?
If that lady hadn't smacked Grace, she might have been picked. She couldn't help but thank that old battle axe for that one. Summer wasn't so lucky.
You will do as the masters command.
The masters. Yeah, right. You tell those masters we're not doing anything.
She tried to be strong like Jade, but this guy was about 3 times her size, and he looked like he was enjoying it. He showed her this little box he was holding with 2 prongs on one end of it.
This will not leave a mark, but it will motivate you.
Why don't you leave her alone?
Stand up.
Hey, I told you we aren't gonna... Oh,
Oh no. Oh god.
That's all it took. Jade got zapped with that prod and went down like a wet rag. Summer saw that and went along quietly.
Betty!
Grace and Betty were terrified, but Jade seemed to hate those goons even more. As to what happened after that, well...
Hey! What the hell is this? Oh, please. Please.
That was how their night started. Feast on a girl, get cleaned up, tend to business. It was a routine that became ritual, established centuries ago, and required very little maintenance, which meant that they were constantly bored. They had the wealth and riches from centuries of human empires that came and went, rose and fell while they remained, and fed. The power some humans coveted without comprehension was theirs to command at will, as were all things that lived beneath them in their global network of human servants. They were effectively immortal, nearly untouchable, and completely unfettered by any human standards of etiquette, social graces, or courtesies. Their fashion sense was as oblique as their concern for humans. Having centuries of experience and wardrobe to choose from, it could be the finest fabrics with the most garish of accessories. Real gemstones alongside clear plastic baubles. Silk fabric with polyester jumpsuits. Whatever suited their whimsy. They weren't particularly sentimental about anything. These monsters would primp and preen in front of a mirror that was incapable of showing them their own reflection. Their clothes and capes, the jewels they chose to adorn themselves with, seemed to drape and hang in midair, moving of their own volition, outlining the bodies that the mirrors refused to reflect back at them. I figured out later that was why they wore so much makeup, to try and pass as human and walk among them. They caked on so much makeup you'd never know the skin underneath wasn't human. Not even their reflections could give them away. They never allowed a human to dress them or put on their makeup. It would be an insult to their vanity. Their leader, Vlad, the king pimp here, his makeup depended on his mood. It had a sort of paint-by-numbers boredom effect to it. Their handsome prince, Nico, his makeup was always impeccable. But Carl, his was sloppy and without much concern, just enough to pay respect to the principle of the idea. Who cares what food should think about him anyway? He was the royal. They were cattle. The first time I saw them, I understood why Grace called them pimps. They were everything on display, except a genuine, kind soul to admire. There was nothing human about what they did or how they existed. They were monsters.
The main floor of the dance hall had been converted into a throne room for these 3 vampire royalty types. Whatever their game was, it wasn't a joke. That lady got done showing off what they did to JJ, and then they served up another one of the girls for breakfast. I think her name was Betty. I never saw her either.
You have better news for us, yes?
We expect to have sufficient doses of your elixir before sunrise.
This is good. I must have this.
You shall, master.
You will come with me. The rest, leave.
I wish to hunt this city one last time.
Have this mess cleaned up before Carl makes himself sick again.
Your will, my master.
Walk with me.
And of course, there we were, about to run face first into this brick wall. You got me, Senko?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. So I approach from 2 blocks back. You 2 monitor from the alley on the other side. Radio contact and video link. If it looks good, I'm going in.
They might have some field dampeners in the building. I might lose your signal in there.
Okay. If I'm not out in 10 minutes, come get me.
You've got 5 minutes, buddy, and then we're gone.
What?
I told you I'm not dying over some dumb stripper. If we lose radio contact with you, you've got 5 minutes to get it back. We're not coming in unless we see you pull your badge. Now that's the deal, or I'm not going.
Fine. Heroes or fugitives?
Let's bust some heads open.
I let Darren take a swig from his whiskey flask before I grabbed it from him and doused myself with it. He looked pissed, and I could see the others looking at me. They think you're a drunk, they leave you alone.
You guys are freaking crazy.
We pulled up far enough down the block that I could do a little recon on my way to the club. They pulled the van around to the alley on the other side of the building as I worked my way in. This skinny guy, Nico, was the first one of them I ever saw. Of course, I didn't know what he was then, what any of them were, or we would have been long gone. I just saw his wide-brimmed hat and fur-lined cape and damn near burst out laughing. Instead, I played up being a drunk and swayed on by. Nice cape, Superfly.
You see something, big boy?
You didn't see, Mr. Pretty Boy?
Video feed is working fine. Must have just been out of frame.
You stay extra sharp there, buddy.
By the time I got inside, they'd already cleaned up what was left of that poor girl. The place seemed pretty quiet. Okay, I'm in. You guys still got me?
Still clear. We'll let you know if we start to lose you.
I'm gonna have a look around.
That's when I found out about the babies. Remember, we sold them a van full of them? As I was creeping around the corner, I got a glimpse of Mr. B in a room with one other thug. The door had been propped open by a stack of those boxes from inside the van. They were taking them and feeding them into this big machine and adding some other stuff to it, and I don't know how it worked, but it was like an espresso maker for dead babies, turning them into this elixir that these monsters wanted for something. It took a van full of those discarded babies to make a bunch of vials filled with this elixir, and they were putting them into these specially made padded briefcases from what I could see. I moved on, but if I knew then what I know now, I would have done my damnedest to destroy that horrible thing.
He has been called for, and he will be sent.
I heard some voices up ahead of me. I stealthed my way closer to see if I could get some new information.
When we depart tomorrow, he will stay to oversee what remains.
How is it that so many others come and go, and yet I remain?
There are many honors in service to the vampire. That talisman you wear binds you as much as it protects you. Your father's gift may keep my kind from touching you, but you are mine. I will not turn you, and I will see you destroyed before I allow you to be called from my service.
I could feel they were on to me. I just narrowly avoided them catching me, and I thought I was doing pretty good as I came into their makeshift throne room.
You're hitting 5 minutes, Joe.
Copy.
That's when I found JJ. They'd put his head on a stake and put it on display underneath a nice little glass dome.
Is that freaking JJ?
What's left of him?
That's it, Joe. Mission over. Get the hell out of there.
It took me a minute to wrap my mind around what the hell I was actually looking at.
Get out of there, Joe. God damn it.
Yeah, mission over. And that's when they found me.
Don't move.
Where's the bathroom? I didn't know what hit me. I thought I had it under control, but I found myself on the floor on the other side of the room, and I didn't know how I got there. That's when I saw the fat one, Carl, staring at me with his beady little eyes. I swear that fool still had some blood and drool around his lips. I went for my gun, and he came at me faster than should have been possible.
Be quiet.
What is this?
He's wired. It's the police.
Police? Here?
I pulled my badge and held it high like the Holy Cross.
That's right. I'm a cop, and you're all under arrest.
Honestly, I was just bluffing till the cavalry came in.
Son of a bitch.
You give us 2 minutes and come and shoot him. You hear me?
I got to my feet and put a little distance between us. I had my gun out, boss lady in my sights. None of them cared. They watched me like I was on TV. I wasn't going down without a fight, but they weren't fighting. I was out of ideas. Then I saw that thug that I dropped slowly reach down and pick up his pistol, like he was walking in the park, like I couldn't just shoot him any time I wanted.
Don't even think about moving, Frenchie.
I tell you, these people were nuts.
Drop the weapon.
No.
I swear to Christ.
Oh, please, don't.
Put that gun down. I mean it.
On the floor! Do it now!
I couldn't help but smile a little. Here they were, right on time.
Get on the floor. I said get on the floor.
But then, things got messy. And at this close range, when one of those things used Sanko as a shield and pulled him into Darren's line of fire,
Crap.
well,
Mother.
Sanko's chest blew open, dousing Darren with blood. I knew Darren didn't mean to do it, but even with a vest, a shotgun blast at point-blank range will punch through most anything we use. Then that bastard who used him as a shield tossed him over to Darren. Darren caught him just in time to get taken down, flopping to the floor with Sanko's blood draining out all over him. I did what I could. Guy with the gun down, back to the boss lady.
Girl.
Surrender, policeman.
I knew Carson had to be on the way. I would have liked to have seen that big bastard try to take on Carson without his little electric prod thing. I bet she would have hurt him in some unforgettable way.
Policeman, I thought you would be more useful.
I'll bust ya. Just watch.
3 of them? Is that all?
These are the same men who returned the cow to us.
I still didn't know what happened to Carson, but Darren was out and Sanko needed a doctor.
This one's still alive.
Ah, yes. There it is. The sweetest blood oozes from the internal hemorrhage.
Jesus Christ! Sanko! Come on!
I got knocked so hard from behind I had trouble seeing straight. I thought I was going to pass out and fought to keep awake.
These fools are acting alone. For the time being, allow them to leave. Once we have confirmed their uselessness, we will destroy them. Come, girl. We have been distracted enough. Our time to depart draws near.
Secure them and return to your assignment. Time is your enemy.
You've been listening to Vice vs. Vampyres, an original feature radio play presented by MountainFireMedia.com. Featuring vocal performances by Brad Havens, Courtney Hetrick, Michael Christensen, Shannon Mucko, Austin Reno, Robert Felstead Jr., Kristen Naomi Garcia, and Lauren Florek. Produced and directed by Brad Havens. Original soundtrack music composed and provided by Jason Shaw, courtesy of Audionautics.com. This radio play was conceived and created by Brad Havens. Copyright April 2021. No use without express written permission. All rights reserved. Visit MountainFireMedia.com for more audio and video entertainment. Thanks for listening.